What is up, Drew Brody? JJ back here with the Kush. Let me even myself out with you. I feel like I'm taller than you.
Wow, what a start. Nice work, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, you figure you adjust the camera angle after the show starts because that's what
Mhm.
normal people do. Holden, you look
Yeah.
warm.
You know what I was going to say? You do too. You have a very hearty hoodie on, and yeah, I'm just freezing my ass off. It could be 80 in here. I don't know. So I'm trying to get better. But listen, the thing that has kept me going this week, being so ill on my deathbed, has your dad blown a little person yet?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you caught the Monday video.
I didn't.
He had some white shit on his face. He put the picture on Twitter. Uh, I mean, tomato on what he did or didn't do, but he at least looked the part of somebody who blew a midget. I'll tell you that.
Oh God.
Yeah, Josh Allen will do that to you. That's for sure. And guys, let's give a quick round of applause. I know we can't see, but a quick round of applause for Holden, who's fighting against some severe symptoms here. Just kind of pushing through. You don't even sound good at all. Your teeth
No.
look great. Teeth look great though. I don't know. You're using whitening kits. I mean, what's going
No,
on
I
there?
think the light. Was just saying I need to go use a whitening kit because it's not. So again, it's just not there. Thanks, Richie Smalls. But let's not talk about anybody being a trooper. I'm trying to find this picture that your dad put up on Twitter, and I don't see it. So I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, I don't know if he put anything on Twitter specifically. Well,
Okay.
if he did, it would be news. Be news to me. I know he did it in the video. Yes, I know.
Okay, so it's in a video. Okay. Okay. I'll have to watch the video then. It was from
Yeah,
Monday?
apparently he. I think it was Wednesday, the first 15 minutes of the Wednesday show.
Okay,
Apparently
Wednesday.
he decided to go through some old photos of me, and it wasn't that appealing. Uh,
Hold on. What?
Went through some old.
Yeah, I know, but what do you mean? What's not appealing?
Well, not sure if you know this. My mom had me in a dance school when I was 4 and 5 years old, and I was in a lot of egregious outfits. I was also in a beauty pageant. There was a lot of. I think my mom wanted me to be gay. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. But anyway, so
Beauty
he's got all those
pageant.
pictures. He's got all those pictures, and it makes him have a good time looking at them because he's also weird. But yeah, he decided to share with the class in his Wednesday video. Didn't really fact check it with me first. Just kind of decided to stick it up my ass.
Right.
Yeah, you might enjoy the first 15 minutes. There's some decent content.
Okay. It's from the Wednesday show, the Fax Man show.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be doing that. Extra Sauce wants to know who we're on tonight. You got anything for tonight?
Yeah, I just want to make sure. I want to see what the line looks like because I don't like giving out stale lines. But I do know this moved a bit. So hold on. Let me just make sure I get it. But it's going to be the same thing I've been doing. The same game teasers that have been working. Now, granted, I know that I've been a big dog and under or dog and over better with these for the most part. I know a few favorites ended up coming in heavy recently. Not the last Monday game, but on Sunday for sure. But I did take Rams plus 13.5 and the under 50.5. But I'm looking at what the numbers are now. There's just no way that's going to be.
Hey, do you just take the numbers and you try and get it to a certain number, like even money? Is that your target? Is your target?
I don't want to pay more than 120. I don't want to pay more than 120.
Okay.
I think I paid for 125 on one teaser all year.
Okay.
Mostly it's anywhere between 105, 115 is really what I'm targeting.
Okay.
But I still want to have certain key numbers. Like I don't want to just have random numbers in the teaser.
Well, that's my other thing. Like you usually don't tease totals, but we do the different things of the same game. So how do you figure out how much to tease as far as the total goes? Again, does that just correlate with whatever the number you're going to get?
Yeah. So you typically with these same game teasers, you're typically able to move the total about 7 points, and you're typically able to move the spread about 6. So it becomes what I'll call an alternate teaser, where it's instead of getting a 16 tease at minus 120 with these same game parlays being offered from DraftKings. DraftKings is a little more, I guess, what I would call lenient or liberal on these prices for these combining of the same game parlays with alternate teasers. But I mean, I'm sure you can find the right price on FanDuel. But FanDuel just seems to jack up everything with teasers. Like that's just not the site to do teasers with, in my opinion. The numbers just never seem to make sense on their site. But if I take 50.5, yeah, this is likely going to be a little more heavy now. Yeah, so it's minus 125 now. It was 115 last night. But Rams plus 13.5 and the under at 50.5. I know it's a little dusty in some ways with the Rams question marks on offense, but I'll tell you this much. If Baker Mayfield plays, which I don't know if that's official yet, But if he plays, this offense should look a little better. And I don't mind Perkins either. At least he's a little dual threat. He's got.
Let me. Why should it look better with Baker Mayfield? First of all, who is not a good quarterback either by any means. All of a sudden, he's the savior because he's not with the Panthers anymore, not with the Browns. What is good about Baker Mayfield walking off a plane and possibly playing tonight?
I think it's better than who they have. I think Wolford has looked okay, but it doesn't look like Wolford's going to play at all. So if the comparison is who would I want to at least attempt to move the football in some capacity for the Rams tonight, I'd rather Mayfield over Perkins. But I'm not sitting here saying Mayfield's the second coming of Christ tonight, but based on who he would be going up against to start tonight, I would think Mayfield would be an upgrade.
I had a little time in my hands when I wasn't reading about football today, JJ. Did you know that over a quarter of Americans think we are living in the end of days? Since you brought up the Jesus thing, I just wanted to let you know.
What is end of days is a little vague though, Holden. What is end of days?
Well, just say he's coming back and that's it. Like we're all done.
So the rapture is coming.
That's what it's called, the rapture. I'm not familiar with the rapture, but over 25% of this country believes that. And that's a sizable percentage. So I'm a little worried. Just to be perfectly honest.
I also think there's a lot of, you said this was just Americans?
This is just Americans, yes.
Yeah, I also think there's a lot of Americans that are on heavy narcotics. There's also, a lot of them are consistently under the influence. And I bet you I'd even go as high as 50% of the people that were asked this question were likely high when they were asked the question. So I don't the results I feel are probably a bit skewed. The idea that people believe Jesus or God is going to come down from the heavens and
soon
meteors are going to rain. I'm not saying I don't believe it. I don't think that's going to happen during our lifetime, Holden. I don't. Sorry.
You're not saying you don't believe it.
Yeah. Not saying it can't happen 300 years from now when I'm long gone.
You're just saying it's not during my lifetime is what you're saying. You're just.
And the good news is how could I be wrong, right? Because when I'm wrong, it's not like people are going to run to me and be like, "You idiot. What were you thinking?" It's like you're going to be fighting for your life, right? I mean, you're going to be fighting for your life. So yeah, I'm not a fan.
And it's going to happen. I mean, even if he takes his time coming back, the sun's going to burn out. Okay. So everything's going to go away anyways. So the rapture's coming.
You're drinking that like Leo DiCaprio Kool-Aid, like with the whole.
Yeah, I mean, sun. I'm not even worried about gold. I'm just saying the sun in all likelihood is going to stop being a sun. All right. It's just going to kind of blow up. And that means we'll be dust in space.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because Elon Musk will have the answer by then.
He'll be long. No, he won't. We'll all be long gone, buddy. It's not happening. We don't deserve to get off this planet. Let me just move on before we get into more philosophical discussions. It's actually a lot of fun though. The only play I had tonight, and the number's dead. It was minus 120 on Bet Rivers. They had Devontae Adams anytime touchdown at 120.
That is a good price.
And it was 140, 145 around. I don't know if 137 is too heavy juice for you, but that was really the only thing here's the other thing I considered though. And it was more because the matchup, Jacobs has looked great last couple weeks, been a nice, big workload, walk-off win against, what was it? Seattle. Then he gets the Chargers. He's going up against a team in the Rams, despite all the big names, and Aaron Donald's more pass rusher. They have stopped the run. Like they haven't given up a 100-yard rusher. They played.
Donald's out tonight, right? I think.
Huh?
Donald's
yeah. But he doesn't. I mean, he's a pass rusher, so really, Anyways, I'm just looking at this defense, still very good against the run. If this game gets out of hand, maybe, just maybe, we see a little more Zamir White or somebody else back there. I did not bet this, but I am definitely going to have my eye live on Josh Jacobs' rushing total. And I just hope it doesn't go down too much. 87.5. That's not a layup, man.
No.
It's a heavy number.
You would. Well, it depends too, because the Rams play this like slow, methodical offense. So you figure the clock's going to be moving a lot in this game. It doesn't mean there can't be big plays in any facet. But the other interesting thing with Adams, where 120 is probably a good price overall, because if you wait against the market, call it chasing steam, it makes it a good price. But he's not used obviously the same way the Packers were. Like when the Packers were inside the 5, it was like Adams was like money for a touchdown. Now it looks like most of his touchdowns seemingly come from outside the 20-yard line. They come in wide open down the seam. There he is for a 40-yard touchdown, 50-yard touchdown. Like, look at some of his touchdowns this year. They've almost it feels like all of them have been like 20+ yards. So yeah, you're hoping for that bomb from him. Ramsey's likely going to be shadowing him, I guess. But
no, but I don't think he's going to shadow, because I was actually reading around a lot on this, that he'll move around a lot. Ramsey's going to try and get him here. Listen, Ramsey, 139th in completion percentage, 102nd in yards per target allowed, 94th in yards per completion. This guy's having a horrible year.
That's what I was about to say too. Like, he hasn't been
Right.
Ramsey.
All right.
So you can take that with a grain of salt as well. It's a good point with the tight ends that Robert brings up. Foster Moreau is obviously always in play, not only at the DFS level, but in terms of his props, because it just feels like they if they just target him a little more, the dude would always go over his number. Derek Carr's a little volatile, but I'll tell you what. To me, I wish I was able to spend more time researching it. Tonight seems like a fun showdown night.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing a little show. I got a couple lineups in there. I think it's kind of simple, though.
Sprinkle in different Rams players and just play.
Isn't it Adams and Jacobs a captain and just figure the rest out?
Yeah, because I mean, granted, I get it. The ownership on those two at captain is going to be probably as high as any two players all year. But I mean, you sneak in a guy like Derek Carr, a captain, who's going to be lower than he should be tonight based on the options. Of course, you're always trying to be different with showdowns, but it's a fun slate though, because again, you got a bunch of different target options on the Rams. Baker Mayfield might play, might not. So fun showdown slate.
All right. That's all I got for tonight.
I'm going to give my favorite player prop of the week, and then we can head out of here. Does that work?
I want to give you some Bronco bets, since those have actually been cashing.
Okay. So I like Jared Goff over 1.5 touchdown passes this week. It's minus 135. It is high. That's as high of vig as I'll go, really, in the NFL, or in most sports for that matter. He's somebody who's thrown 2 or more touchdown passes in every home game except for one. And now he's playing one of the worst pass defenses in football. I don't know if people realize it's like the Vikings are 30th in yards per play allowed defensively. It's why this team is every week. Like, people look at these lines and go, why is this team here? Or why are they such a small favorite here? Because it's one of the worst defenses in football. I mean, yeah, the Lions might be worse, but also the Lions offensively are like a top six offense in football, and they're a top 3 offense in football when they're in Detroit. Detroit's offense fucks in Detroit. So Jared Goff's his home run splits are crazy. He loves the dome. As long as we don't get 1 or 2 yard line where Jamal Williams gets vultures every single touchdown for this team, makes a lot of sense that Jared Goff gets you there for 2 touchdowns, because this is a definite spot where Minnesota's defense is going to be in a bad position. So love the spot for him to throw 2 touchdowns. Might even throw 3. So I love the idea of the 135 price for him to throw 2. With Denver, what are some of your likes there? Because I know that you've been. I mean, I know you like to talk about how bad you've been in certain areas, but you've been dead on with Denver every week.
Well, that's just because I keep running it back. When you're 11-1 to the under at this point, like, why are you even, if you've been on this even for the last month, I think you just got to keep riding the train there. I actually, in under 44 in the game, I'll take that. The Broncos are horrible, but again, the defense had a letdown against the Panthers, and everybody last week was, their defense is dead. It's not dead. They are going up against a different beast, but I still like the game under 44. And then I found the Broncos have scored more than 1 touchdown. I think, is it 2 times since like week 3? They cannot score touchdowns. So maybe, hey, listen, if this is the outlier, it's the outlier. Under 1.5 touchdowns at plus 130 team touchdowns for the Broncos. Under 1.5 team touchdowns at plus 130. First of all, they don't score touchdowns, and then when they do, they get 1. They're horrible in the red zone. They can't do much of anything anywhere. So that'll be it. Under 44 in the game, and under 1.5 touchdowns for
I will say this, and call it good news or bad news for you. There was a game, I think 3 weeks ago, that Denver played that I bet their team total over and lost. I said I would never bet this team again. However, I build 3 lineups a week in main slates. Undoubted, one of those lineups will have Russell Wilson in it this week. It's just a typical spot that makes a lot of sense. His price is cheap on FanDuel. It's cheap on DraftKings. We were talking about this in the Print Factory too. You got to find leverage spots to be different from the chalky game, which is Minnesota. Russell Wilson, it wouldn't surprise if a spot like this where a game script makes sense that they throw most of the game and he's got his guys back and this team just needs to show something offensively. The Chiefs, these are the types of games the Chiefs just don't get up for anyway. To me, it would be considered. I don't think he's going to see much ownership, probably like 10%, maybe Wilson this week. But I think at the price, he's hard to ignore. And you're just hoping for 2 touchdowns, whether he runs 1 in or throws 2 in. But so I don't want to say I'm rooting directly against you, Holden, with that bet.
Yeah,
but
it's fine.
But I do think it makes sense to play Wilson in DFS this week.
You like some Russell Wilson?
And we're on a DFS channel, so I mean, yeah, take the folks take what you will for it.
So yeah, again, under the game, under team total touchdowns with them. The only other bet I was looking at was I think it is going to be a lower scoring game than I think they'll probably play in the upper 30s, low 40s. But since I'm betting so many unders, I don't want to bet Latavius Murray over 47.5. But I think this is a great spot. He keeps getting the work. His snap shares will be between like 60, 70%.
And most of the snap
Latavius's number is looking pretty good. That's another spot. I'll probably bet it live, especially if we don't see them, running that much, or maybe they mix Boone in or something early, or Marlon Mack. That's how bad it is there, by the way. That's how bad it is.
It's a dusty offense to watch, but look, we know in relation to DFS, it's all about pricing and value projections, and Wilson makes sense this week, sad to say. So it is what it is. But yeah, I agree with you. You've been a cash cow with these Denver unders. So it's just crazy how bad they look. Like, how is nobody getting wrist slapped on that team? It's just like, not that they would fire Hackett this soon, but man, that team looks so dusty offensively, and they're so good defensively. Like, I think they're a top 5 defense, right? At yards per play, points for the whole bit. They just do absolutely nothing offensively every week. It's crazy. All right, so you're back on that train. I like Goff over the touchdown and half pass number.
Yeah.
Give out the teaser for tonight's game. DFS, who's a guy you might find yourself overweight on that maybe others wouldn't?
Just in tonight's games?
Yeah.
That's not the chalk. Here, I have Daniel Carlson in 2 of my 3 lineups.
Okay. I mean, Carlson, yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. It gets you off.
I have Amir Abdullah.
That's good too.
Abdullah Oblongata.
That's different.
Different. And then a little Brandon Powell action. So I guess that's the other guys I sprinkled in there.
Awesome. Anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to thank your friends and family like the guy from the stupid fucking football throw did on Saturday?
Nope. Sure don't.
Did you watch that, by the way?
No, what happened?
The Dr. Pepper football challenge?
Oh no, I didn't watch that.
Where they were basically push throwing the football into a beach ball, and then when he beat a chick, and he was asked, at the end, how he did it. What was he stops and he goes, "Just want to take the time to thank my friends and family for all my support over the last month while I've been training for this competition." Like, can you settle down? I mean, you're literally push passing a ball into a beach ball sized hole, and you beat a chick to win your whatever $10,000 check. It just felt. I know you might be like, guy tilting at windmills over here, but it did bother me because this goes back to participation trophies for me, Holden. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what the big thing is in NFL locker rooms right now. They're arguing 100 players versus a gorilla who wins.
100 NFL players versus a gorilla? I don't think it'd be close. I mean, I think the gorilla could kill a few of them for sure, but I
think the gorilla would kill at least 25 of them.
25?
Yeah. I don't think you understand how strong gorillas are.
I mean, I'm not saying they're not strong. Obviously, they're probably one of the strongest land animals. But like in reality, you're talking offensive linemen that bench 600 pounds. I mean,
correct.
30. You're talking. So even if you split it out, right? You did pound for pound a few running backs, receivers and cornerbacks are going to die on impact. Like they're going to die.
You got like normally around 500 pounds. Okay, gorillas are the bigger ones will be 500 pounds. So that's fine. They can 500 pounds versus a 300-pound man. That's like Aaron Donald against the kicker.
Sure, but there's 100 of them. I mean, that's like
right. So all this dude has to do
That's like
stuff
asking
that.
me. Asking me how many 8-year-olds would it
Right.
take?
That's the old question, but this is a different spin on it.
I agree. I think that
I
the gorilla.
think, yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
think once he ripped one of the players' heads off, the other 99 guys would be like, all right, you know what? You win, dude.
You know,
Like,
that's
I'm
an
out of here.
interesting take because you don't think about it that way. Like you assume, oh, all 100 are going to trample him, and yeah, a few might
Yeah,
die.
no.
100, but the 100 will overcome it. But yeah, once an arm gets ripped off, once somebody's
You're
neck,
done.
like you might start putting
No.
like, whoa, I have a family to support. Like I didn't sign up for this shit.
No, this was just fun. This is a locker room debate that got out of hand. You know?
Maybe, I mean, to West Coast's point, maybe the gorilla strangles a dude with his cock. You never know.
Oh, gee.
You never know. Just wraps it around. But yeah, I agree with you. Now that I think about it, I think they're drawn dead because the fight would start and a few people would be killed within the first 15 to 30 seconds, and then a lot of the others would just step back.
This ain't worth it. It was going to be a great story. I killed a gorilla, then he ripped my best friend's head off, and he had the psychological advantage.
Internet Streets brings up a good point that the NFL game tonight is so bad that this is the highlight of the show. All right. On that note, gave you guys a bet for tonight that I fired on. Holden gave a few DFS plays. I told you that I'm going to be playing Russell Wilson on Sunday, so take that for the word. But look, I want to be clear. Big TJ issue. We're all in agreement there. We're all knobbing each other over Mr. R. Wilson this week. Gave you the bet. I like.
Why? You're going to have to tell me again. I just don't understand this.
It's the price. It's the price. He's 5,100. He's 65 on FanDuel.
But you don't have to put him with any receivers. You just blind Russell Wilson.
Well, that's just it. I think he's easy to pair. You could either put him with Sutton or Judy. You could even go the tight end with him.
Well, Sutton ain't going to play.
If he's not going to play, it makes it even easier. Just roll Judy. But in regards to Showdown, like I said, I think this slate's really fun. I wish I was able to spend more time with it. Because
did you see this internet stress? He thought it was the DFS. It was a Showdown show. He just
on that note, gamble responsibly, folks. Stay safe. As always, run pure. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, Holden will be feeling a little better. Look at him. He looks like
this is fun. I needed this. This is fun.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks as always.